y'all. I just had I'm like, Lord, great day. I about fell out the chair, knocked all my stuff everywhere. Can't cuss in the first 2 minutes, Jake. I didn't tell you that. So here we are. I ain't took Jake out the live stream yet, so we're getting this started. Welcome.
Your fridge is open.
You left your fridge open.
Your fridge is open.
See, I told y'all.
Just a hot mess over there in the Heels household.
I know. There we go. Jeez, man. We started 35 minutes late.
That's the White Claw surge. That's the surge coming out of the fridge. Technical
difficulties. Scuba Steve, 85 minutes and 33 seconds late as usual. Woo. Welcome to Bass and Brews Podcast, your weekly distraction from high-quality podcast content. We are here tonight, and we're going to be bringing the fire as usual. Want to say thank you to Hookset Hoodlums. Go check them out. Heels 10, Heels 10. Heels 10, get your 10% discount on some badass hats, shirts, all kinds of good stuff. Scuba, what's going on, Austin?
Just hanging out, eating some popcorn, getting ready.
I know. I mean, this man has his own live Instagram show, been on this podcast a million times, and he over here eating some crunchy ass popcorn on the podcast. Like this is first time out in public.
I gotta let the people feel it,
What about when we riding down the road with the earphones in, listening to you chomp on some popcorn, man?
Yeah, they do. Don't lie.
Oh, Jake Stem, what's up, Hoss? How you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
What you got on the wall there? What is that? Lures?
No, pictures.
Ah.
My garage has got all my tackle in it.
Yeah, I had to relegate all my stuff to the garage as well.
Yeah, I need a bigger garage already. It's getting so bad.
Well, I'm in my garage.
Yeah,
right
now. Paul lives in his garage. He doesn't tell anybody that, but
I kind of do. Hey man, well, we thank you for coming on because, like I said earlier, I mean, Scuba and me, we just little peons compared to you, at least in the Instagram world, in the kayak fishing world. I mean, you've had some accomplishments.
Yeah.
Tell us about Jake Stem. Who is Jake Stem?
Oh, geez. Pretty much a bass head and a hunter. Grew up hunting and fishing my whole life. The usual outdoor life, I'd say. Dad took me trout fishing. Bass fishing wasn't huge for me growing up. There was a lot of trout fishing, opening days, going to catch all the stock trout, and then hunting everything and anything, bear, deer, squirrel, you name it. I've hunted it. Growing up here in the Poconos of PA. So, yeah, been doing that. And then we want to get into the bass side of everything. It's kind of a long story to where I can get to where we are today. But if you want to do some,
yeah, we're gonna do that. We don't need a John King, aka Drunkwood.
No, I'm not gonna be Drunkwood story. Don't worry.
Drunkwood on the last episode. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. It's long as hell. It's almost 3 hours. Me and him had a really good time. I don't think either one of us knew what was happening after about the last hour.
That sounds about right.
To it. His introduction to who John King is lasted about 57 minutes.
Yeah,
it is the longest ever in Bass and Brews podcast history, but it is epic, and you should listen to it. If you don't listen to anything else in that one, you should listen to that because during all that, I sing Strawberry Wine, and then you should also listen towards the end. At some point, he goes tinkle with his microphone on, and I had to sing This Little Light Is Mine so nobody would hear it. All right, Steve-O, what you drinking tonight, House?
Well, to crack them, I got the good old-fashioned Angry Orchards.
Wonderful.
And then I'll be lining that with some of this.
That's what I was about to ask. I know you always bring a crack 'em. You steal your wife's Angry Orchard to crack, but you always have a bourbon nearby. And Jake, I know you don't have anything to crack open tonight, but you got a neat little cup, don't you?
Yeah, I got a sweet tea, of course. Love my sweet tea, and a little Bass mug. It's got my Instagram handle on it. My
Nice.
girlfriend's friend makes some custom mugs, so she had one made up for me.
You're awesome, man.
That's awesome, man, and that's great to hear. A folk from the north down with the sweet tea.
Yes, sir.
Louisiana or Lipton?
Lipton.
That's a good choice. I can go with that.
Hey,
we got some local up here.
We drink peach tea in this house.
Peach tea, huh?
Peach tea's good, but sweet tea, extra sweet.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be syrupy, right?
Yeah, the more sugar, the better.
Yeah, but if you ain't finished it by day 3, you put on your pancakes.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to crack these open, Steve-O?
Yeah, man.
3, 2, 1. Delicious. I got a White Claw surge. Y'all know that. I ain't lost but like 2 pounds now because I gained some since I started drinking these to lose weight, but I'm going to have to do something different because I'm getting so fat I can't measure my fish right on my kayak. All right, Jake. Hey, Steve, Steve, what you been doing? You had a real quick before we get into Jake. You had a tournament at Bugs Island 3 weeks ago now.
At Kerr Lake, it was a shit show. It's horrible.
Yeah, we call it Bugs Island down here because
nothing to talk about.
All right, yeah, well, it happens. It happens.
Next one up is my. I'm gonna try to make the Slay Nation in PA next week. What is it, next week?
2 Saturdays from now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try, but I don't know if my kayak will be ready by then because I'm getting it ready for. I got a KBF the following week on the Potomac.
Okay, you're fishing the Potomac one. Nice.
Yeah. So actually, Nate Shagman's gonna come down and crash at my place. We're gonna pre-fish together Friday and then just go ape shit for the weekend.
Nice. That'd be awesome. I head down to Santee for the Hobie BOS this weekend. Yeah. Saturday is going to be sporty, 15 to 20 mile per hour gusts, like 35 to 40.
Yeah, Paul will be out there with no shoes, with no shoes on,
and his Crocs.
Yeah,
just his Crocs,
no socks, Crocs.
No, it's going to be 65 degrees, so my
pair
Crocs
of shorts,
will be all.
He's going to be in shorts and a tank top.
No, I don't do that now. I wear my long shirt with my hoodie on. I don't do that, but I might be in my drawers by the end of the day. You never know. I got to tan my thighs a little bit. They're extra white from the winter. So Jake, all right, man, tell us about your fishing story. Then you said it's a little long, and that's fine. This is your podcast. Me and Steve-O were just here to be the good-looking faces of it. Oh shit! I almost forgot. Come out. See this why this podcast. Oh my lord! I can't believe people listen to this shit. All right, I got to make an important announcement. Alex is back in the States. He got back last week or this past weekend, and he couldn't make it. He couldn't make it today. But Alex is going to be back for a while, and then he's going to have to leave for a little while again. But thank goodness y'all ain't got to sit here and listen to me for anywhere between an hour and 15 and 3 hours anymore, because when Alex gets here, that shit ends at an hour. We might go an hour and 5 if he's having a good time and he's drank a little too much. So
shit, don't fall asleep on the fucking podcast. Leave everybody else talking.
But no, Alex is going to be back. I'm super, super, super excited. We've talked about this before. There's a group of folks that have no idea who the fuck I'm talking about with Alex. Alex is swamp rat fishing. If you watch the YouTube channel where all these go, he's actually the one that started this podcast.
Paul has just taken over.
I was forced to take over. Otherwise, the podcast would have ended while he was out chasing people and doing stuff on his Coast Guard boat. So he will be back. We're gonna still have a regular episodes. I think we're gonna try to have a couple stuff maybe towards the end of this week. Live event on Friday or Saturday.
Are you co-hosting or are you gonna take a break?
We'll make an announcement when the time comes on what my future plans
Don't
are.
be a punk bitch and take a break, okay? Keep running with it, all right?
So, look, man, we
don't
have
want to
not
hear
missed
that shit.
my first episode as the co-host was episode 12, I believe. We have not missed a week since then.
I think we should all drink to that. Paul Heels is a monster.
Look, well, yeah, y'all know that. If you come on here, people are like, how long is it going to last? I said, the goal's hour and 15 to an hour and a half. But anyway, Alex is coming back.
You want to say hi?
Come on that.
Come on, kiddo.
Y'all get ready for it.
Come on, you guys know I got to do this every time I'm on.
Yeah,
My son
man,
has
we got
to come say hi.
What's up, dog?
Come on. Say what's up. You're not going to say hi?
Hi.
Hey, my son was on earlier before we were doing the same thing.
Although,
You making choo-choos?
yes.
All right, go make your choo-choos. Go ahead.
No,
Here, take this with you.
it doesn't do it. It's broken.
Well, we'll fix it tomorrow. All right?
Maybe buy a new one.
Maybe just buy a new one.
Hey, man.
That's what I say when I don't
that's
catch
right.
a fish on a bait.
All right. Hey,
That's
Gavin
right.
and Ava is sleeping, okay?
Hey, we gotta buy a new toy.
I'll buy you new toys tomorrow.
Yeah. A new Lion Day toy.
All right.
Trackmaster.
Trackmaster?
2.
2 of them? Okay.
Trackmaster 2.
All right, we'll go to Target and get some tomorrow.
Hey, you're going to leave Target with 4 of them things. That's
Yeah.
what's going to happen. Alex will be back. We're going to have something coming up at the end of this week, a little live event, I think. And then we're going to be on our regular stuff after that. But everybody go, if you don't know who Alex is, go check out Swamp Rat Fishing. I can't pronounce his last name, but he's YouTube and Instagram, Swamp Rat Fishing. Get to know him because he's the only reason that I'm here acting the fool and talking nonsense every week. Jake, tell us about Jake from Pennsylvania.
I thought you were gonna say State Farm, and I was gonna be like, really? Come on now.
But I'm way more original than that.
Okay, good. So, I guess I'll just give the last when my tournament aspect of fishing started. Probably about 5-6 years ago. I would help out with these camps in the state that teach kids all about particular animals for 5 weeks. It was like an academy. They learn about their food, their habitat, all this stuff, run with the game commissions, professors, all this stuff. And they started a new bass school. So I was freshman in college when I went to help. And I met a guy there who ran an organization. And he said, why don't you start a college fishing team, which if you guys don't know, up north isn't really huge. I think PA has maybe 12 colleges. We were 11th when we started it.
Not even. You're not even lying, because in New York, I never even knew about college fishing until I left.
Yeah, so it was very limited. So lo and behold, talked to that. Another girl that was helping with the school actually was going to Kutztown University, starting her senior year. So I was a freshman. She was a senior, and then we decided that we're going to start a bass fishing team when we get back. So we keep talking about that, and this guy goes, hey, Mike Iaconelli's hosting his pro-am. Do you guys want to go fish it? And I was like, sure. So he waived the fee, and we got to go fish it. I was like, this is sweet. So it was on the Delaware out of Camden. The fishing was trash. I didn't know how to throw a bait caster at the time. I got paired up with Cliff Crochet, Cajun Baby. Yeah, Mama said. And she got paired up with – She got paired up with.
It ain't say it. You can't. It's Mama said.
Mama said.
No, you don't pronounce the D. Mama said.
Mama said.
Oh, no, you'll get it
I
later.
can't do it. So then she got paired up with Kevin Van Dam, and she had no idea who that was. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Wow.
I was like, "Really?" But anyway, fished that. That was an awesome experience. Came back to college.
So Van Dam, are you related to Jean-Claude?
What do you mean? I don't get that one.
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Bloodsport?
That's how you know we're old, buddy.
I know, he's 26, but you've seen Bloodsport.
I'm 24.
It doesn't matter. 26, 24 ain't nobody. Them 2 years ain't making no difference in what you remember or not.
Bloodsport Paul is 80s, man.
I understand that, but this
he wasn't even fucking born yet.
Oh my God! You know what? We're not even going to get.
You got to
into this
remember,
right now.
Hey, you were born what? Late 90s, right?
97.
Yeah, Bloodsport was fucking dead in the water. So was
I
Van
know.
Damme's career.
Well, kind of. I mean, he's been in some of. Anyway, all right, never mind. Our listeners will get that joke, even though you don't. But your homework after this is to go look up Jean-Claude Van Damme and watch all his movies.
Don't waste your fucking time.
I might have
don't
seen
listen
them,
to
but
OG.
I might have seen one or two, but it doesn't ring a bell off the top.
No, you have not seen any of his shit if you don't remember who he is. I can guarantee. Anyway, continue your story.
Shit movies, hack actor.
Scuba.
Don't waste your
All
time.
right,
Scuba.
so came back to college, started a bass fishing team, fished FLW college on Smith Mountain Lake in Virginia. That was like, I bought my first bait caster or two for that event. I caught one fish on a Senko, and the guy who owned the boat in our club fished the Forest Wood Cup as a co-angler. And so he was good, and we got 15th out of 80 first event, which was pretty good. There was like international boats that were wrapped in like craziness in the college league. That was like my first tournament experience. And then went back. Our team ended up qualifying for the national championship. And then I started fishing locally as a co-angler, which a lot of people do. Fish TBF.
Hey, buddy.
And then I started fishing ABA as a co-angler. And I fished the 2020 national championship on Lake Hartwell in South Carolina. So that was my first big event, which was crazy fishing for spots. Never caught them before. And then
catching them deep.
What's that?
Were you catching them deep?
On shoals, on Carolina rigs.
Oh, sweet.
And I've never thrown a Carolina rig before. So my boater had a Carolina rig. You know what I did? I took 2 or 3 bobber stops, slid them up my line like 4 foot, then put a big weight on it, slid another 3 bobber stops up, and put the hook way back down there, and I was catching them, but I had no idea at the time what a Carolina rig, I heard of it, but never fished it. So did that. And then last spring, I had a kayak for years now. But one of those sit-in cheap ones, I duck hunt out of it, stuff like that. But you're in it for 2 hours, your back hurts. So last year,
your ass is flat.
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm a big boy. I
wet.
can't last in there long. After like 2 hours, I'm done. So,
look, Scuba Steve gets in a PA 14, and you would think that kayak was only 6 foot long the way he sits in it.
I hope he's a piece of shit.
Look, they put this man on the smallest Hobie they could find, and now he don't like Hobies because they played a joke on him.
Oh boy.
All right, sorry.
No, you're good. So then last spring I picked up a used Old Town pedal drive, and that's when I learned about the kayak industry and the tournament aspect of it and just how huge it was. And before that, I'd been fishing Slay Nation, the PA John Boat Series. So that was like 3 years ago now. Yeah, 3 years ago I fished it. I won Frankie Provolone and Slay Ray, the guy who made the jersey. Shout out to Slay Ray. He's my director. He's the small boat series. I won 3 out of the 4 events, and I like this.
Shit.
So they're not huge. There's like 10, 15 boats, but a lot of the lakes and the Poconos are the same. But it was cool. So then last year I got the kayak, and then we actually started a kayak series for Slay Nation. There was about 15 of us. I tied for AOI. I won like 2 or 3 of the events. And then, my kayak thing got huge, and now I'm the director this year. Good old Scuba Steve's on my list of anglers. He's one of my members, so we'll see how he fishes. I'll give you the details, Paul, how he does. So
I'm gonna follow. Are y'all doing like a live LinkedIn, or are you doing Fishing Chaos or some kind of other?
We use Tourney X.
Okay.
So
yeah. So
we have an Instagram page for all
I'm
the
gonna
PA
follow.
trails.
I'm gonna challenge every fish that Scuba puts up. I'm challenging.
If he puts any up, who knows? I don't know.
He'll put fish up. Look. This man fishes out the back of people's boats all the time. So he catches fish. So he gonna put fish up.
And that's what I love most is going from that co-angler for like 3-4 seasons and then taking it to a kayak where you can make your own decisions. And that's what I love most about it. And it was just like, I don't got to get dragged around wherever other people go. But like I fish tournaments, Champlain, St. Lawrence, Cayuga.
Wow.
So I got to learn all the good fisheries as well.
Yeah.
So
Dude, that's
then
like that's
well-
my thing is I want to be able to control where I'm going. I'm tired of having an idea of the water we're on and being like, maybe we could do this. And, you really can't say nothing when you're a co-angler. So it's like, if there's a shitty day of fishing because you aren't on fish, like the last event I was in, there was one fish in the boat all fucking day. That's it. I'm not talking about catch and release. I'm not talking about bites. I'm talking one fucking bite all day long. We just weren't on fish.
I had a boater one time who his buddy was having motor issues prior to the event, fished it. His lower unit blew out. And then I lost the last 2 hours of my tournament because he went and picked him up. And I was like,
crazy.
Oh, wow.
So he knew he had issues, fished it anyway, blew it. And then we had to go pick him up and come back. And I didn't get to fill out my limit. But that's,
I
now
fished
we can make our
in a
decisions, but we can only go 5 mile an hour. So
I fished out in a bass club out the back of the boat, but I didn't compete against other non-boaters. I competed against everybody.
I did that once. I won a tournament doing that, and I couldn't believe it. But like, that was. I like.
It's a good experience, and like I said, being able to go out and do that. I mean, that's a good experience, and you do get with some really good boaters where you can learn a lot. I mean, you just talked about never having thrown a Carolina rig before, and then now you know how to tie one up, and a place and a scenario where it would work, and throw the Carolina rig. I mean that's good, but it is. However, you can get off the bank onto the water, and obviously, where we are in this day and age with kayaks give you that opportunity to do that. But now you can get a fishing kayak that is set up to hold gear, that is set up to hold your rods and to put your stuff in there and to put graphs on it. 6 years ago, it was all, you just bought a kayak that was a fishing kayak, and it was a fishing kayak because it had two pole holders.
That's the one I had. Yeah.
2 pole holders on it, and maybe a track system, or it was a sit on top. But everything else was, engineering out in the back shed. Yeah. But now, we got damn shit. Hobie sold a $20,000 kayak
at the Classic. They had one. Yeah, I saw that thing.
And they sold it.
Sold it. Guy bought it. The sitting kayaks, there's nothing against it, but for us that fish tournaments, it's like you ain't sitting in that thing for 8 hours. There's no way. But
you got to be able to stand up. You have to be able to stretch your legs. When I got my Hobie, my PA, the most excited I was about having that. The most exciting part of it was when I had to go tinkle, I didn't have to paddle my ass all the way to the bank to roll out of that old kayak to go pee, then to get back in it, then go paddle, back out to where I was. 100%. Second most important thing about it is I didn't have to paddle. No damn more I could pedal.
Yeah,
but being able to stand up, obviously right now is a great time because you can power pole down. I ain't got no power pole. I got a push pole that I put in my anchor trolley, but being able to sight fish and stand up and do all that, I mean, the stability of it, I feel safe in it. The kites have come a long way. There's nothing wrong. Here's the whole thing. I don't give a shit what you get. Get one that you can get out on the water on and start. That's the biggest thing. I think
your percentage goes way up if you can get off that bank where everyone else is.
Well, and you're going to be able to throw. You're going to be able to learn more lures as well, because it's hard to throw a crankbait on land because if you get hung up with a $8 crankbait, that bitch gone.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you walk out there and get it, and you ain't doing that in the South too often.
Or lakes that are choked up with lily pads around the edges. It's not like you can be on the outside edge chucking a chatterbait along the edge of it. No, you're screwed. You really can't throw anything with probably a Senko. That's about it.
But that creates patience, and that's why some of these folks get in a kayak from coming off the bank, and they can come behind me and catch fish all day long because I have no patience.
Because you suck.
Well, I say it all the time. It's not nothing I hide. I don't pretend.
This is Paul Heels talking. He just caught like a fucking 8-pound fish.
Yeah, I've never even seen an 8-pound fish.
Well, you in the wrong part of the country.
Yeah, I need to go south or north. That's pretty much where I'm at.
I will say this: the Carolinas have been fucking pumping out monsters this year. South and North both have been pumping out fucking monsters.
Yeah, we got some good fisheries here in North Carolina. We got quite a few good ones down in South Carolina. I mean, they're good fisheries, and luckily, at least where I am, ours aren't quite big enough to have bass events.
Yeah,
so they don't get even though MLF has been here twice out of the last 4 years. They're still not getting beat up like Santee will. Probably starting Monday until the spawn ends. They caught all this fish in Potato Creek, right? There's going to be a potato famine at Santee. Getting there. But
I like fishing New York a lot because the traffic isn't that bad up there in upstate New York, and the fishing's good. The fish are dumb half the time, depending on where you're fishing. Like PA, we only have like 3 lakes around me that you can run a big boat. And you've got the jet skiers and the casual boaters, and it's just like, and all the electric only lakes. I mean, you might get lucky and stick a 5 or maybe a 6, but that's that's a giant for PA is a 5 and a 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm really gonna try and make that that PA versus New York event.
Dude, you got to. It's gonna take 100 inches to win that.
Fuck is going on here? God damn it!
What lake are y'all fishing?
Cayuga.
Okay, so I've never been there, but I've seen quite a few videos.
Yep.
I think last year.
Greg, you probably saw Greg Blanchard's video from Elite Kayak Fishing.
Yeah, Greg, and then
I fished that event. I got 12th with 89 inches.
That's crazy, dude.
It was 95. Top 3 were 95.
All smallmouth, right?
No, all green, all fat largies.
Were they all largies?
Yeah, it's got good smallmouth in it, but up that time of year, everyone's up the north end of the lake catching giant largies. Like you'd probably break 100 inches if you measured them round and length.
That's gonna be like
so fat.
That's gonna be like an Ironman run for me. Like I'm gonna leave fucking work, throw the kayak on the roof of my car, and just go.
I did it last year. I worked 12 hours, drove through the night, got up there, practiced, took a nap, and then waited for the next day. I don't know about
practice. It's on a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably leave Friday midday.
Okay.
Get up there, sleep.
You message me. I'll keep you updated. I'll be up there probably Thursday, but that time of year, dude, you can catch them throwing anything. It's just finding the 18 plus inches. It's literally like I caught a fish fishing this bank with a micro jig. I caught the fish. I'm measuring. I'm taking a picture, and I go to release it, and my rod almost goes down in the water, and I pull it up, and there's a fish on it. I was like, did I forget to unhook this? And I put it on my board. It's a half an inch longer. I was sitting in 5 foot of water when I dropped the jig over. Another largie ate it. So when I released the other one, I set the hook and caught another one. It's just, dude, that time of year is
that's insane.
Yeah. My first kayak experience was in the OGO Invitational in a 12-foot Hobie pedal kayak, piece of crap. So I bought me a Jackson. I bought a Jackson Liska, and I'm gonna throw in a motor guide on the front of it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm done with all that paddling. I'll have a paddle. All right, chill out, bud.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you one thing. When paddling, I ain't.
No.
I'm fishing big lakes here. I ain't in the rivers. I'm on 3 big lakes. I ain't.
But that's the nice thing about the kayak too. It's like, like I gotta make the motor mount for the motor guide for the front, because it's not, the Liska's not designed for it. But I got such a good deal on that I couldn't pass it. So I'm just gonna. I made the mount already. I'm just waiting for everything to get come in the mail. But the nice thing about the kayaks is if you are like gonna go river fishing, you just do the quick release mount and you take it off and just go paddle. You can paddle up and down the river if you want. It's not like you're in a bass boat. You're in a bass boat. That's it. You're in a John boat. You're in a John boat. There's really no flex. Whereas the kayak, if you don't want to motor it, you can take it off and pull off on the side of the road and just slide it through the fucking woods and just launch wherever you want, you know?
And the thing when it comes to kayak tournaments is you can be in a sit-in or you could be on a $20,000 Hobie, but they're a little different. Yeah, motors, pedals, paddle, but you can still win it easily. Where if I'm in a John boat and some dude's got a 200 on the back of his bass boat, it's kind of
you're at a disadvantage.
A big disadvantage. So the only time I'd get a paddle is if I'm putting a motor on it. I got a pedal and I don't even realize, like, when I set the hook, I'm freaking playing with a jig. I'm back pedaling, and when I set the hook and stuff, when I film my GoPro, my YouTube videos, I don't even notice I'm doing half of it. So, but a lot of guys are getting the motors. I'm thinking about getting one next year. It's just not even. I don't want the motor to be able to fish it necessarily, but just from point A to point B. That's all I want it for. I like using my pedals, but to save myself an extra 4-mile pedal, I'll freaking put a motor on that son of a gun.
The motor guide's on sale right now for like $1,000. Yeah, it's like $200 off right now at Bass Pro.
Yeah, they're running their big spring sale right now.
Yeah, so I'm gonna buy that. Well, I already ordered it. I'm just waiting for it.
Does your wife know yet?
Yeah, she's the one who bought it for me.
What about the lithium battery you're gonna need? That's the worst.
Nate Shagnon actually is gonna hook me up with one for $400 that his buddy had.
Nice. That's the worst part. Is like motor's okay, but then your battery's almost the same price.
Bro, the 12
amp. $1,000. You're gonna pay $1,000 for a 50, 60-hour amp, which is what you need.
No. The 100-hour amp right now is $1,000.
Yeah, the 100 amp. Yeah.
So then that's what he's bringing me. He's gonna give it to me for like $400. So
nice.
Fuck it. It's not. It's like a no name, but who cares? I don't care. You think fuck cares? As long as it works, I don't care. So I'm gonna. Do you
care? Do you care?
I don't care.
I don't think he cares.
Okay. Making sure.
So I'm gonna run that for the motor, and then I got some Aqua batteries for the lights and the fish finder.
Fish finder. Nice.
Yeah, I got a Aqua battery to run my fish finder, and I've been super happy with it. It charges pretty quickly.
I've been
very happy with it.
I bought the 10 amp hour last year at the OGO Invitational, and then this year I just ordered the 20 amp hour to keep all the lights running, because I'm gonna put lights on the outside, and then I'm gonna put like 8 lights on the inside.
Yeah, I got lights on the outside, and I run the 9-inch Garmin, and I run a 12-volt 18 amp hour, and I could probably get 2 full days.
Yeah,
fishing with it.
Yeah, I don't run none of that shit. I ain't got no fucking lights on my boat. I got a fish finder.
Well, with the Slay Nation, they fucking launch at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
so.
I want to. I mean, me personally, I got us launching like right at first light.
Yeah, I got my Yak Attack light.
Yeah, I got one of them too.
But I don't need lights on all that other shit.
The light with the flag.
Yeah, but the fucking flag falls off in no time.
Did that happen to you too?
Yeah, I lost it. Somehow the damn little thing fell off.
Yeah, they break off. I had them give me new ones because my light was wrong. The copper spring in it wasn't working. So they sent me a new one, sent me more of those clips, and within a week they came off. I'm going to zip tie the sucker. I'm just going to zip tie it.
Well, because with the Hobie, you have to have a flag. So I got to put that on there. I've got the flag. That's what I'm going to do. Zip tie. But
I bought a Hook Set Hoodlum shirt. They got that bomb shirt with the American flag on the back, but they only have them in small and medium. So I'm just going to cut the fucking shirt and make a flag out of it. And that's it. That's going to be my flag.
That's awesome. Custom. I can't wait to see that shit. But yeah, I don't have no lights on my shit. But look, would I love to be a gearhead and have a damn bait wall and all this shit on my wall? And I would love to. I'd love to just buy shit. I don't try a lot of stuff. I try stuff, but not a lot. I don't I buy one of something and really give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a frugal angler. You know, there's a lot into that right now, but I'm just frugal with it. I'm a bare bones kind of person. I mean, that's just how I operate. So I don't have a lot of frills and shit on my kayak or in my fishing stuff. I mean, I got good gear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do invest in rods and reels and, hooks. You know, I buy good stuff.
Yeah.
I ain't cheap, but I don't buy I have lures that I use, and that's what the hell I use, and that's what it is. But the lights and stuff, I hadn't done all that yet. I tear that shit up. Look, man, I'm rough on my equipment.
The yak power setup, in my opinion, is it's easy. Everything is fucking plug and play. You don't have to cut and splice and none of that shit.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I put lights on it, spliced the wires down, and got a switch off Amazon, cut a hole underneath my seat, pop that sucker right in there, and then boom.
I bought everything off Yak Power. I don't have the patience. I work on cars all fucking day long. So that's like supposed to be my fucking solitude. I'm not trying to sit there and heat gun and heat shrink and this and nope. I just want to drill, plug, and call it a fucking day.
Man, I'll tell you what. How often you tell your wife that?
Every day.
I just want to drill, plug, and call it a day.
Every day. She fucking lays next to me. I'm trying to bang her.
So, Jake, tell us about this huge win in a kayak tournament that you recently had.
All right. If everyone doesn't know, you live under a rock, but Mike Iaconelli, you guys should know, he has the Ike Foundation, which I
by the way,
before.
That's Alex's favorite fisherman.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. But Alex doesn't count. Fuck Alex.
He's a love-or-hate guy. Like Paul said, I've heard him say it before. You either like him or you don't. He's loud, obnoxious, but that energy. I'm from PA. We catch 2-pounders and we think they're 5s up here. So I relate to him so well. So Mike,
we can talk about Ike after your story, if we want to, because anyway, finish your story.
All right, so Ike has the Ike Foundation, which he does the Pro-Am tournaments, bass boat, and then recently, past two or 3 years, he's done a kayak one. So last year, I signed up for the one on Nakamixon in Quakertown, PA. It's like a lake, like 40 minutes from me, and pre-fished it a few times with my buddy Matt, who is in our Slay Nation. He's in my Slay Nation. He's a member. Which Scuba Steve, you'll meet him. He's got the Old Town 120 with the Minn Kota Ultrex in it. So that thing's sweet. But we pre-fished and weren't really finding anything. There's a ton of pleasure boaters, sailboaters on that lake. It's 20 horsepower max, but there's just so many fishermen. So I knew like in the morning everyone's gonna fish the weed lines. Yeah. And then after that, it's going to get tough. So I ended up finding an area the second day of practice. My buddy had an area he'd caught some fish in, so we tried it, and he caught quite a few. He probably caught like about 10. Yeah. And then we were like messing around, randomly started punching some lily pads, and we found something. I don't know if it's a ditch or something, but it's just a small little area. Yeah. And literally, he thought he got a bite. I flipped in, caught one, flipped in again, got another bite. This was like 2 weeks before the event. Yeah, so we were just trying to catch stuff out, and I was like, okay. Then we go way up this one area. And I freaking he catches like a 14-incher, and I caught 19 and a half. Yeah, and I was like, holy crap! And I'm like starting to get nervous. And the tournament was on a Sunday, so then the next weekend, the weekend coming up of it on Friday, two days before the event, I was getting too stressed and anxious, and I think I knew I had like a top 5 pattern. And there was 91 guys signed up. So anyway, I went Friday, went to my spot, flipped into the punching area I had, dunk, and I was like, okay, shook you off. I was like, I'm out. And I went to the one area that I was catching them on a moving bait, and I was just trying to get one bite, and then I was going to leave it. And I caught a 19 and a quarter, like 4.5. And I was like, crap.
You caught it like, fuck.
Yeah. So that's every time I fish that area, I've caught one over 19. And I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. I was literally there like 2 hours and left. I was like, hopefully Saturday doesn't get pressured too much. And the area I was in, I don't want to give too much away because the tournament is back there again this year. And I did have YouTube videos on
People know where you were. They're going to tear that place up.
I know. Luckily,
we have tens of 20s of people listening to this.
So you're like
pretty much all of them are up in your neck of the woods. So they're probably headed there tomorrow to fuck your shit up.
Yeah. So you're like Alex, you spot burn.
What do you mean?
That's an inside joke. Alex spot burns quote unquote.
Well, I had
YouTube
videos up on
videos,
YouTube.
spot burn.
He did a saltwater video last year, right? And the guy he went with was like, "Hey man, you got to edit that video. You know, people are gonna know my spot." I'm like, "You're fishing in the fucking bay. You can catch striped bass anywhere in the fucking bay. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
All right,
burning. Give me a break.
Let Jake. We ain't getting on no tangent with spot burning. That's the dumbass conversation we can have some other time.
All right.
I want to hear Jake's story. Damn it.
Like I said, that was Friday. So then Saturday, I was hoping it didn't get pressured, but I know it does. And then Sunday, I woke up like an hour before my alarm, and I was like too anxious. I was like, I'm going to Wawa. I went and got breakfast, and I was like, I'm getting to the lake early. There wasn't another guy pulled into that lot for like another 45 minutes. I was there so dang early. I was just too jacked up and antsed. And there's like 5 launches on the lake. Anyone can launch anywhere. But we ended up launching it. There was probably like 15 kayaks at mine. So we launched, and I'm like pedaling as fast as I can. I'm going my way. I'm like, I got to get to my spot, make sure no one, beats me there. And I get to my spot, and I turn around, and I'm like 300, 400 yards from the ramp. No one went left. Everyone went right, and I went left. And I was like, okay, this is my moment. Like, don't screw this up. So started out in my punching spot, didn't get bit. And I'm like, I was catching them like 10 o'clock, and this was like first light. So I was like, maybe it's a timing deal, whatever. Start to go back towards my area, catch like a 16. I was like, cool. Work my way back farther, catch like a 12, a 13, like a 15. And I was like, all right. And then I kept running my stretch. And then I ended up having a limit by like 7:15 or 7:30. So I think like an hour and a half into the tournament. Lo and behold, 4 fish or 3 fish was second. I was the only one with a limit out of 91 guys. So I had that won by the first hour.
Damn.
But I didn't know that. I was like, people are going to catch them. And guys caught some like 21s. But that's what I was saying in the beginning. You could catch them early, like 1 or 2, but then that was it. It was hard once the wind picked up and all the pleasure boaters and everyone got out there. So I went up and down, and I ended up, I think, catching my limit. And then my one buddy that's in Slay Nation texted me. He's like, you piece of crap. He's like, I guess you figured him out. And he texted me right after I caught like a 19 and a half. I was like, yeah, I just caught a 19. And he's like, son of a gun. And I was like, I was calling my buddy Matt, who practiced with me. I was like, dude, I got this. I knew I had between 80 and 85, like every practice. And I had like 83 3/4. And I fished like the rest of the day. Eventually the bites died out. I went back to my punching spot like twice, couldn't catch anything. And the last maybe 2 hours, I didn't get a bite. I ended up catching like 8 or 9 keepers, maybe 10. And at one point, the one guy finally made his way back towards me. He's like, oh, how you doing? I was like, good, I'm leading it. I was like, how you doing? He's like, oh, I'm in second. And he was like, so this is where you are? And I was like, yeah. He ended up catching like one more. And I don't know if I think he had 4, and he got second place. So out of 91 guys, I was the only guy with a limit. And that was just nuts. I mean, the leaderboards turned off, and I was still way ahead. So, but one of Ike's guys who was helping run the event, the night before, you could either do in-person registration or do Zoom. So I went, and they were doing giveaways, and I ended up winning a new Abu Rod Versitas, and I was like, sweet, I won my entry fee back. This is cool. Yeah. And then so I saw him when I first get there, and he's like, oh, dude, it got close. He's like, I don't know. And I'm like shaking, like about to crap my pants. Like, I'm like, no. Like,
was this Brian the Carpenter? Because that sounds like some
BTC.
shit he would have done.
I forget his name. He was down at the Classic, but it wasn't Brian. It turned out that I ended up winning it. It was crazy. I won a bunch of stuff, and it was just awesome. Like, I don't think many people knew about it, just because, I mean, I don't know if they promoted it as well. Like, it's not a Hobie or KBF, but to win against 91 guys was just like, holy crap.
Dude, that's a big field. 91 guys is a very, very large kayak field. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of damn people, and I'm assuming the majority of those people that fish that tournament are from the area.
Yeah, we had some people up from like Virginia, Maryland, and like
okay.
I don't think anyone came down from like New York or anything, but there was definitely locals that knew about the lake and fished it. It's just a super tough lake, but when you find them, you find them. So it was like maybe big enough for 2 kayak guys to fish it. So next year or this year when they have it again, I know everyone's going to be there that saw the video. So I'm curious what'll happen. But Yeah, so then this year I'm gonna I'm the director for PA Kayak Series for Slay Nation. Scuba Steve's a member, and then I'm gonna be fishing the whole Elite Kayak Fishing Series up in the Northeast. I'm gonna go fish all their events. First one's in Messalonsky in Maine. Never been up in Maine before, and then I'm gonna fish the Hobie on Susquehanna if I can get in, but they're selling out like so fast.
I believe Nate Shagan, he's been egging me to get into the KBF on that lake. He's like Scuba up there. He's like, bro, you catch fucking 18-pound fish all fucking day long. 18-inch fish all day long.
I was about to say, hold up, what y'all fishing for?
I was like, what?
It ain't bad.
He's like, Nate says it's like automatic. 18 and up is like fucking all day.
Yeah, so Elite Kayak Fishing is pairing up with KBF for that event.
Yeah.
So Saturday is Elite Kayak Fishing and also KBF, and then Sunday is another KBF.
Yeah,
I haven't decided if I'm going to do all three or because it's a lot of money to win and it's a lot of money to lose.
Bo, you have to, if you're fishing Saturday, you got to put in for both.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah,
You have to.
He's egging me on to go up there. Look, I'm like, man.
Queen City, down here in Charlotte, one of the biggest local clubs in the country. I can't remember. A guy just made a post this past Monday or Sunday from that club about he didn't double dip, right? It's called double dipping. He didn't double dip for I can't remember what the hell tournament it was. Anyway, he didn't double dip. Well, I think he ended up winning and would have won both.
That's why I'm like at this point.
But if you're gonna fish it, but that's the thing, like side pots, stuff like that. If you're, I just feel like what's another $30 or what's another
$30? It ain't no 30. Them KBFs, bro. Them KBFs for the weekend is to do each day and the 2 day is like almost $500, man.
No, I think it's It's like $130 per Saturday and then $130 Sunday. But then the Pro Series, which is the double day, that's $500 entry fee.
No. It's like $430 for all three.
Well, yeah, maybe for all three.
Maybe. I thought
all three, but the Hobies are like $130 per Saturday per Sunday, just the regular trail event.
Yeah,
but that's a 2 day combined.
Hobies like $265, I think, whatever it was.
Yeah, $260.
But it doesn't matter. I'm gonna put in for Queen City. I always sign up for Big Bass. I mean, those little side pots. There's no reason not to, unless you like. I suck at fishing. I'm coming out here to have a good time because I'll tell you right now, I don't fish to have a fucking good time.
Yeah, but look, if you're at that mentality, you might as well not even enter. Just get a cooler of beer and go fish.
Why am I going to pay $65, $35, $200 to go fish a tournament where I don't look? My mentality is this. I don't necessarily think I'll win, but I fucking damn sure expect to win.
Yeah.
If that Confucius shit makes any sense. Because I don't like, I fish, I like the competition side of fishing. And I say I don't fun fish, and it's hard to explain in depth. But anyway, when I go fishing this and I'm not in a tournament, I'm working on something. I'm throwing a new lure, I'm looking at new areas and stuff like that. But man, I want to go fish to compete. Now, if I fucking lose, I lose. I mean, there ain't. Yeah. You first or last, bitch.
I'm driving 7 hours to Maine. I ain't going there to lose.
That's right. Yeah. True. Yeah. And I might lose, but you know what?
Hey, if
I'm going there to win. I mean, I'm going down to Santee this week. I'm headed down Friday, and I got some stuff that came up. I might not even be able to go check out my ramps Friday. I damn sure ain't gonna get the fucking pre-fish. I might not even be able to go check out my ramps, but you know what? I'm gonna put myself in the best position that I can put myself in to go find fish, and if I can find them, it gives me a chance to catch them. And if I can catch them, hopefully I found big uns, and if I found big uns, I got a chance. But I mean, I still go there in that mentality. I'm fishing to win.
The funny thing is in the Northeast, man, you got some of in that event in Maine, you're gonna have some of the fucking best kayak fishers in the country in that event. You know, it's like the Northeast just pumps out fucking studs of kayak fishing for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You're next, Scuba. Jake's already there. Scuba's
not in
getting
PA. I gotta move farther north. Like I said, I'm either going south or into New York for better fishing. Because PA,
Scuba's getting groomed by Sean the fisherman and the dude.
I don't know about Sean.
Shags.
Nate Shagnon, really. Sean just gives me help with buying shit. That's like, look, call 3 bells. You need a knock? Well, call 3 bells. They'll hook you up.
All right, Jake. So you win the Ike Foundation kayak event. How do things change for you, or is that just another notch on the belt? Do you gain sponsors, or like does it change your mindset into fishing? Like, because it's a big win because it's a Ike Foundation thing. 90 anglers is a shitload of anglers, and to be the only one that caught a limit, there was a lot of stuff in there. How does that kind of change? Because you were you still a little bit new, right? That was your second year in the kayak competition fishing.
Last year, like I said, I fished the elite kayak fishing on Cayuga. I got 12th out of 75 there, which was decent. That was my first kayak event, was Cayuga. And then I fished Slay Nation, won 2 or 3 of those.
Right.
And then I fished the Ike Foundation. But honestly, nothing much changed. I was kind of hoping he kind of viewed it as his boat tournament because he had like the boat winner on Ike Live. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get on Ike Live now. So I don't think it was broadcasted much. And I don't know if like the guys that fished KBF and Hobie really cared about it, to be honest. So nothing really changed, surprisingly.
You should have picketed outside his house. Put me on.
I was going to text him, but I didn't want to be rude either. I saw him down at the Classic a few times, and we talked, and he remembered me, so that was really cool. So,
man, look. You ain't being rude by asking somebody, be like, hey, man.
You're talking about Ike?
Yeah, I was
like,
shocked.
How tall is he? Like 2 feet?
Nah, he's like mid-5, 5'7".
Hey,
5'8".
Don't be picking on short people now, because look, Alex ain't but like 5'3".
Oh shit!
I mean, he barely come up to your waist.
No, there's things about Ike that I like, and there's things I don't like. All the loud yelling and all that shit, I'm like, yeah, that's cool, whatever, man. You're getting excited over like 1.5 pound fish, but like his Ike Foundation, how he helps out kids and shit who want to fish, all that shit, that's so dope. Like he could just do that shit and still have the same notoriety. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I feel like his professional fishing thing is just like a side thing at this point. He has so much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Well, his notoriety isn't that persona or the persona of him screaming and getting excited about the fish. His notoriety is he's won absolutely everything there is to win in professional. He's won it all. He's won a classic. He's won AOI. He's won elite tournaments. I mean, the man is accomplished. His who he is outwardly.
Let me see. I gotta get close up and see.
Good shit.
The print of Ike's balls in Paul's fucking beard right now.
No, man. Just like Scuba Steve, I'd hug the shit out of Ike if I ever got a chance.
Yeah, he's
but
really
I mean, it's the emotion, it's the passion, and you ain't seeing that from a lot of guys from the South, where fishing pretty much the guys from the South do it. He also came in at a time where it was the good old boys from the South, and here's this old damn little short, skinny ass, fast talking, New Jersey kid coming in here and do. He had to create all great athlete. Let's take this. Did y'all watch the final dance or whatever the stuff was with Michael Jordan?
Of course.
And how many times you didn't watch it? Okay, well, he created. Michael Jordan created.
He was born when Michael Jordan was retiring, bro.
Yeah. Jesus. It still doesn't matter. He should know who Michael Jordan is.
I know who he
Anyway.
is. I just never got huge into basketball.
Okay. He created, in his mind, he created shit that never happened that motivated him to beat them, and I think that's Ike. Ike is he's always creating some kind of motivation.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And that's what the phenoms, the great athletes, the great folks, they're creating their own reality that they operate in. And it's hard to understand that if you've never been there. I had a guy ask me, he's like, so my son, Carter, Carter. He says, so if Carter's fishing on national television, he's out there breaking rods over his knee and throwing them in the water and screaming and hollering because he lost a big fish, as his parent, would you like? It's like, you fucking damn right, he better be. I mean, that's the emotion side of it. Like,
But Ike's doing that shit on like a 1 pound fish.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You know what?
It doesn't matter. That 1 pound fish might be the difference in you winning $100,000 and you winning $10,000.
So a funny story with elite kayak fishing. It's my first kayak event. And like I said, I worked like 12 hours till like 2 a.m., got home, drove straight up to Cayuga, pre-fished, took like an hour nap, then hung out till slept in the parking lot of the ramp for the tournament the next day. And I get out there and I catch like a 19, a 15, a 16. And I finally start uploading them and I'm fishing. And all of a sudden I get some emails from Fishing Chaos and it was like, your fish is DQ'd. And I was like, what? And it just kept saying DQ. And I was like, what the heck's wrong? And I was like, okay. And I messaged on the Facebook page they had or whatever. And I was like, hey, I'm having issues with fish getting DQ'd. Well, lo and behold, I didn't read the fine print. And the identifier had to be a KBF identifier or the elite kayak fishing identifier that you write the number on. And I just wrote on a blank piece of paper. I'm not going to lie to you. I was in tears with frustration, exhaustion. I was so upset. Like, I just traveled all this way and wasted it. And then I started talking to the guy. The guy's like, and I sat there for like half an hour and I was like, do I just go home? Like, I don't even know what to do. And the guy's like, keep fishing. Apparently other people did it too. So, because it was their first event with elite kayak fishing.
Yeah.
And it turns out that like a bunch of other people did it. So then they said, resubmit it and we'll take it. So then like 2 hours later, I ended up getting all my inches back and stuff like that. But dude, like just the amount of effort and time and emotion you put into tournaments is just like, I was like,
but that's a good learning experience too.
Oh, yeah.
Like you kayak anglers are the fucking absolute worst for not knowing the rules for the shit that they're fishing.
Yeah.
And when their shit gets DQ'd and they lose or whatever, they get all angry and shit. Well, I mean, you have to understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
At a local tournament, we had a guy that went to Walmart and bought some damn measuring stick, showed up at the fishing tournament, went to go fishing, and he would have won the tournament, but he didn't have the right board. And he's like, well, it didn't say anywhere in the right board. And clearly in numerous places, it talks about we follow these KBF rules. To see those rules, click this link to go read to understand what you need. I mean, it was there.
Yeah.
Kayak anglers are terrible about that shit. But it's a good learning experience to understand where Hobie's different than KBF. KBF is different. There's all these little intricacies about the type of board you have and all this and that, and the identifiers. And like, you have to understand what you're fishing. Look, if that shit would have happened to me, I'd have gone the fuck home.
I mean, I don't blame them if that, like, I appreciate that they did that because a bunch of other people did it and they gave the qualifier that morning or the identifier. So it's like, you really couldn't cheat, but I get it if they would have DQ'd me. Like Greg Blanchard, he was using Fishing Chaos for the first time and put all of his fish in the live well and didn't upload them. And he zeroed. He should have been like 11th or 10th. Mm-hmm. And he zeroed because he put them all in the live well in Fishing Chaos and not on the leaderboard. And they ended up not taking his fish because it was like hours after the tournament when he realized. Mm-hmm. And like, but after that event, be damned, I didn't go print six by sheets of KBF identifiers and put them in a Ziploc bag with a Sharpie in my kayak.
And people need to realize you have to use those identifiers because the people who sponsored those tournaments, Their names are on those identifiers, and part of what the TDs are selling to those people is we're going to have this identifier where 100 anglers are going to have this identifier on there with your logo that, 2,000 people are going to see when they look at these fish.
Yeah, and so when I go post it on my socials about my tournament, guess what I'm going to post?
Yeah,
my fish on the catch board, which is going to show that identifier.
Yeah.
So I get it. That was totally my fault. But now everyone that I teach about kayak tournaments, that's the first thing I teach them. You live and learn, but I try to make sure that never happens to anyone else.
So every tournament trail that I fish in. So I haven't done any KBFs this year. I haven't done any monthlies. But if I do a KBF monthly or something, I will print out a whole sheet of KBFs.
Mm-hmm.
I print out a whole sheet of all my local clubs. I don't know how Hobie does it yet. I got to figure that out here in the next few days. I'll print it. But what I do is I have extras in a dry bag in my kayak.
Mm-hmm.
I have extras in my truck. And I have extras in numerous places so that if I'm out on the water and my shit gets blown away or gets wet and I can't read it, something happens, I've got one on the boat. But then I carry extra in my truck because people get to the ramp and I'm like, fuck, I don't have my identifier. I left it. And so I'm always giving, but I always print out a whole sheet and make sure I have them. That identifier is important, man. That's in this day and age for kayak fishing. That's how you win or lose, because without that. Now, somebody brought up a good point. I can't remember who this was or what it was. Hold on. Boy, don't interrupt me, motherfucker. Let me quit to finish talking shit. I'm going to make a point that nobody going to care about so we can get to your story real quick. Somebody said, I can't remember who it was, why do we need identifiers if we have a timestamp of when the fish was caught? Everything's timestamped and has a location on it. So why do we need identifiers? And I think that's something that all these apps that we use will probably incorporate. Well, there won't be an identifier needed. I don't know.
Well, I know for directing, like Slay Nation, it's a lot harder to go back and look for the timestamp and location than it is to just, okay, that's the identifier, that's the right code. It would take directors literally twice as long to verify fish.
And if they're judging, 90 anglers that all catch 5 fish, and they're judging 500 fish, that makes a big difference. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Steve-O, what were you saying? You bald fuck.
Nate has a metal identifier that they made, that he got made. There's a company, I forget the name of the company, but they make them, and they'll put like the KB, it'll match what the KBF identifier is, and it has slots for you to put the identifier in with like dry erase, and it attaches right to your catch board.
Yeah, I forgot to mention in that Cayuga story when I was like freaking out and like having a little mental breakdown. A guy ended up kayaking past me, and I was like, "Hey, do you have one of those KBF things?" And he ended up having an extra one. I scribbled off one of his older, identifier codes. I put that on because the guy said keep fishing until we get this figured out. I ended up catching like 3 more. They were dinks. But I started, I was like, okay, I'm going to go catch a limit and go from there. Like, get yourself back in it. You can't let it defeat you. And just, you drove all that way. You got to keep going. So shout out to that guy because, he helped me keep fishing for a bit.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so where your tournament director for Frankie the Head Cheese, Slay Nation, Pennsylvania, you're fishing the EKF. What do you have plans to start going nationally, or in what, if you are, what organizations are you looking to fish?
So, I'm directing PA. So we got 8 events with them for kayak, Slay Nation kayak. And then I'm fishing Elite Kayak Series because that's kind of your next step up. It's almost to the level of KBF, I'd say, not quite Hobie. Entry level, entry fee wise. But I am gonna try to get in that Hobie on the Susquehanna, and I think next year I'm gonna try to fish like 3 Hobies or whatever. I think it's 3 Hobies you got to do to try to make that 10 Invitational. Or I'm learning all about this the past year, but I'm definitely gonna get.
Hold up. The Invitational is KBF.
Oh, that's
The
why.
Hobie is Hobie. So
Okay,
the
yeah,
Hobie
yeah.
is the top 3 puts you into
The
TOC.
TOC. Yes.
So
yeah,
the Invitational,
that's
I guess there's 3 or 4 different ways to get in that with KBF. I'm not sure.
okay.
Like I said, I just fish, and if I win, then everything falls into place.
Yeah.
If I don't win, then shit doesn't happen. That's my mentality. Like,
Yeah.
there's what about AOI points? I'm like, if I fucking win and I win enough, the AOI will come.
Yeah. Yeah, and I definitely want to travel. I definitely want to travel south and fish different fisheries because I did New York, like Champlain, Cayuga, Oneida, St. Lawrence. I've done all that as a co-angler, so I have good experience up there. But I definitely need to go down. Like I fished Hartwell once, but I definitely want to go down there and try to fish some. The problem is like the elite kayak fishing is for the Northeast. Well, I'm PA, but technically I'm like the southernmost state for them. They came into PA last year once to Wallenpaupack. And it was a crap show because the boat traffic is horrific on that lake. So they're not coming back to PA. The closest they're coming is Oneida, which is like 3 hours from me, but Maine's 8. So it's like I'm kind of like stuck in between all the circuits, except when Hobie comes to the Susquehanna. So I'm going to fish them this year and try to fish and qualify for the championship. That's my goal through them. And then probably next year fish a few more Hobies or KBF, something like that. I definitely want to get on that national trail. Definitely winning that Ike Foundation made me think, okay, I may have a shot at, being able to represent myself. Maybe not win one, but at least hold my ground with some of these guys that are absolutely insane.
Well, I mean, it only takes one. I mean, that's the great thing about fishing is that the limitations are only what you put on yourself, money, time, whatever that is. I mean, those are all limitations with fishing. There's no scuba's like 6'12" and 3/4. And I mean, is he good at basketball? I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's a little too clumsy.
I used to be until I blew my knee apart.
Yeah, he blew his knee apart, which means he got scared. Anyway, but this guy's 6'12", and then you got Alex who's 5'2" and 7/8, and both of them can go fish. And those height limitations and restrictions and this and that, none of that shit matters.
Yep.
Now in basketball, scuba, probably is going to beat Alex unless his knee blows out again. But in fishing, that shit doesn't matter. Nope. Your weight, your height, now your physical ability and your stamina has some play in the kayak fishing world. But in general, your height and your weight and all that
That's when you get a motor.
Matter. It's the equalizer. It's an equalizer.
Yeah.
So
no, I 100% agree.
I mean, that's a great thing about the limitations, and that's the difference in the bass boat world. In the kayak world, the limitations that keep us from fishing are all self-imposed, and it's not a bad thing. If you don't have the money or you don't have the time, or you've got 4 kids and a wife that works and you can't leave for every other weekend for 4 days, shit, hell yeah. You damn that family is more important than any fucking fish you can catch.
Mm-hmm.
But those are all self limitations that we put on this. The kayak world is very much, you can make it happen if you want to, because you don't need a $20,000 Hobie. You can take your damn $1,200 kayak out there and win some stuff.
Yep.
I mean, if you know how to find fish, and then you figure out how to catch them, you can win. It doesn't matter what you're fishing out of.
And you can put everything that they put on them fucking bass boats on a kayak now.
Yeah.
You can put live target. You can put 360. You can put live target. You can put down imaging. You can put any motor. You can outriggers. You can put all that shit on there you want. Anything you want to put on a boat, you can put on a kayak.
Hey, let me ask y'all, what do the professionals say wins them money? What part of the boat wins them money?
I would say like themselves.
Nope. The trolling motor wins them money. The most important part of a boat is the
That's true.
trolling motor.
They're on it 95% of the time.
That's right. Trolling motors win money. We putting fucking trolling motors on boats was spot lock.
Yeah.
On kayaks was, I mean, like the pros say they win money with their trolling motor. And here you got a kayak now that can go in 2 inches of water with a trolling motor. And the same kayak can go out offshore in 40 feet of water on spot lock.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go out there and drop shot or a rig.
But you see, that's the beautiful thing too, is in the 2 inches of water, you don't need the motor. You pull the motor up and you paddle yourself where you want to go. You know, if you're in heavy grass or lilies, you can fucking dock the kayak right on the grass and the lilies and pitch left and right all fucking day long and have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, and whereas in like a bass boat, you're not doing that. You're fucking tearing up the entire area trying to get in there.
The only thing I'd say is like the bass boat guys can run, 70 miles if they want to, but that's what I like about kayak fishing is it makes you slow down. It makes you pick apart stuff way more. It makes you a better angler overall.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you a better angler. I don't know about that part of it. I think that you see more stuff.
Yeah.
And, we're talking semantics here. So it is what it is. But you're going to see this anomaly on a piece of, on a unassuming flat that you're like, let me go check this shit out. And it's loaded.
Yeah.
It's got some fish on it that get you a limit or some big fish, whatever. Whereas a bass boat, they'd have gone by at 60 miles an hour.
Yep. I got a buddy of mine. He told me he had a smaller bass boat and he used to fish this creek on the Potomac. But if he caught the tide at the wrong time, he'd get stuck in this area he liked to go to. So one day he got stuck at low tide in there. And he's like, fuck it, we'll just fish where we're at. And he ended up finding like this hole that he said he would have never found because on his boat he usually blows by it in the tide, but it was like shallow on one side, shallow on the other side, and when the tide dropped, all the fish would just shoot into this hole. And he said they caught probably 40-50 bass that day in that hole, just all day long fishing.
I've always heard
the
about
tide came back in.
Like little ditches on the Potomac I've always heard is like crazy if you find it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The kayak guys can go up and there's a spot because I like a certain creek on the Potomac, and there's a spot that's got a lot of piers from like old bridges. There's a bunch of that in that river system from like old like train bridges and car bridges from from whenever.
Yeah.
That the bass boats can't get in there because they'll tear up the hulls. But the kayaks, you can go right in there and fish, and you're catching 16, 18, 19-inch fish all fucking day long. And
they'll go where their fin comes right out the water. They don't care.
Yeah. So I'm just like, that's one thing that has really like next year, this year I got a couple of more. I've got 6 events on the Potomac this year. So like, I got 2 kayak events, and then I got 4 MLF events that are on the Potomac this year.
Okay.
So like, I got a lot of that, but next year I'm probably gonna do the KBF Trail Series and like go to the Kissimmee Chains and all that shit next year, wherever like. I think that's where my tournament fishing is going. Is it's gonna be to the Kayak Trail Series. I want to do some Bassmasters. I want to
yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like Bassmaster came right here to the Chesapeake, which is not that far from me. And
that's right.
I was still new. I was still new into the kayak thing. I didn't realize how important it was. And then this year, they're not even coming close. So,
nope. Like I was trying to get my yak by then because I wanted to do that event bad. Because that's like 20 minutes up the street from me.
Yeah, I fished it a lot as a co-angler, so I know some decent areas. But I didn't even realize that it was like Bass Nation. I just didn't know. So I was like kicking myself in the ass after not realizing it and then seeing that they're not coming back this year.
No, so hopefully next year they come back to the Chesapeake.
Yeah, that's a good. I love fishing that. Scary, sunk a boat there. That's a whole nother story. But Wasn't me. It was my buddy and me. But that was just, yeah.
But with the Chesapeake, if you stick to like the creeks and the back coves, you should be all right. If you go out in the open, then you're a little fucking. It's a little sketchy. It's just like down here where I'm at. I'm actually right off technically the Chesapeake where I'm at, and where I live, and like if I go out of my creek, that I live right in Stony Creek. It's big. It's a big creek, but if I go out there, I'm right out in the open of the fucking bay. It's if I go out there, I'm gonna like follow the fucking the shoreline. Yeah.
That's like Cayuga. All New York lakes are north and south 30, 40 miles. So you get that 5 mile-an-hour south wind, that north end's gonna have 3 to 4 footers easily.
Yeah.
I've been in the boat plenty of times fishing those tournaments. So luckily in May, when I was there last year, there was like 6 inches, maybe footers. Like it was nothing. Like west to east wind, you're fine. But you get a south wind and we're all up on the north end, it's gonna be there's no creek arms on those lakes either. They're all glacier lakes.
Yeah.
They're all just, there's nothing to hide from. So that's the only thing that sucks is like the wind blows up there, you're just pretty much screwed.
Yeah, in August I'm gonna do Champlain, and probably that's in my birthday weekend. I'm gonna go up there and do that.
I love that lake.
Yeah. So it'll be fun.
But the classic. So I did not meet Paul because he just didn't want to see me. That's okay.
Yeah, well, that's how Paul is. That's how Paul is.
Yeah.
Don't let him fool you. That's how Paul is. He's
look, I want to meet everybody. There's 2 things.
He's big time.
He's famous.
Yeah. I'm famous. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
He's the unofficial host of Bass and Brews, motherfucker.
I started making a list of the people I wanted to holler at that I talked to that were going to be at the Classic. Jacob was the first on that list. He's the reason I started the list. We got there and we got there. Shit was overwhelming. Blah blah blah. Everything happened. I completely forgot about the list. So the only people I saw were the people I ran into while I was there. So like Matt Pangrack, me and him, it was at the weigh-in, the first on that Friday. I saw him just passing Bailey from Serious Angler, passing, and then Andrew from Serious Angler was at a booth when we were walking through. Like I was just in la la land, man. It was a damn shit show, and I'm sure I walked by you, Jake, at least 2 or 3 times. But you also didn't text me and like, hey, sorry ass, where you at?
Listen, I was working a booth, so this was my first Classic ever. I got invited down there, and he's not lying. It was crazy. There were so many people everywhere. But so Rabid Baits, I've got some of their stuff here. They're made.
I got a couple of things from them. I got some craws from them.
Yeah, so it's all made right here in the U.S. up in Vermont, right on Lake Champlain. So I've been working with them for, Bob, the owner, he was my boater on the St. Lawrence River as an ABA. So we fished, and at the end of the day, he was catching them on a Carolina rig. And then once we were done, he's like, here's 2 packs of the baits. And I was like, oh, thanks. Now that we're done with the tournament, cool. And he's like, try these out. So, and we've been on and off and stuff, but I've been helping him out. And then about 2 months ago, he's like, hey, do you want to do pro staff managing for me? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, he's making baits, dude. He's working 16-hour days, just cranking baits out. Yeah. I was like, I can help you out, take some work off you. So been doing that. And then he said, do you want to come down to the Classic? And I was like, heck yeah. Like, I'm driving. Let's do it. So I made the 10-hour drive and went down and worked the Classic all 3 days. And so Rabid Baits, if you guys don't know, this is their crawl here on a little jig. This is my go-to little Kitech finesse, like tungsten jig. Oh yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, but
there we go.
Yeah, I got those craws in black and blue, and then the red.
Okay. So it's got foxtail and rabbit fur. So this is rabbit, and then this is foxtail. And once it goes down in the water and it hits there, it'll flare right out. And any little bit of current's going to make it just move around, look like an actual crawl. So this is the bait that they announced at the Classic, their new Rab Shad, which is a fluke style bait. And this thing is sweet. Looks really good on a scrounger, chatterbait I've been throwing it on. And then you can throw it weightless. This has salt in it, so it'll sink a little bit. But all the rest is all floating. They make worms, drop shot style baits, everything. But so I've been working with them. So I got that opportunity, which was huge. And then the people you meet at the Classic, like Johnny Morris came by and shook my hand. And I was like, oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
Mr. Morris,
dude,
Mr. Morris, I'm about to hug you.
Yeah, I was just like, I just
I'm
happened to
gonna
look
kiss
up
your
and he was
neck.
like, hey, and I was like, oh, okay, how's it going? And then he kept moving along. But the people you meet and stuff like that. So my goal is to hopefully, between Rabbit and just meeting connection, is to get in the fishing industry within like the next 2 to 3 years, because there's nothing more I love to do is talk about fishing, and that's my goal. That's my main goal.
Well, look, if you like to talk about fishing, you can start a shitty ass podcast, because you got two guys right here with two shitty podcasts that don't do nothing but talk fishing, and we get some really, really, really good folks like Jacob Stem on here to talk fishing with us, knowing that the debauchery is going to be plentiful.
Yeah, this is tame.
I'll have to say, so I found about Bass and Brews when Paul was on with Slay Nation. He was on when we had the Slay Station. I didn't know about Bass and Brews, so then I looked it up and I listened to podcasts a ton with work. So I listened to Serious Angler, been listening to them since they started. Paddle and Fin I started recently, Bass Talk Live and all this. So I found Bass and Brews and I just binge listen, because I need like 8-9 hours of podcasts a day to keep me occupied. And I started binge watching, and then I listened to all of them. I almost finished Drunk Woods today, which was 3 hours long, which is funny as hell, but holy shit, that's long. But like Paul says, he's talking about this guy, Alex. I'm like, who the fuck is Alex? I don't even know who this guy is. So I listened to one podcast with him, and honestly, I was like, it's too different. I'm so used to Paul Heels running this. So, I love this podcast.
So what Jake's saying is that Alex is going to be the co-host.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. No offense to Alex. No, I just don't. I haven't listened to too many with him yet.
Look,
then you got to check out Baits and Bourbon then, because we're insane. Me and Lockwood. Okay. I got to get Lockwood tied down, but he's like a.
I've been following him for like a year or two. Don't know how I followed him. And I'm telling you this, I never heard his voice until he was on like your podcast, and I just didn't expect his voice to sound like that. I don't mean that in a mean way, but like
you didn't expect his voice to be so high pitched.
Yeah. I've been seeing him catch big fish for years, and I'm like, this dude's awesome. And then finally heard him, I was like,
he talks, he's like, oh yeah, this right here. Look. That jig. That jig, you threw that jig out there. You threw that jig and you pop it a couple times. And I tell you what, you gonna feel that little tick, that little thump, and you cross his fucking eyes.
Yeah, that dude, he's cool. That was just funny the first time I heard his voice.
I tell you what, you hear some stories from Cody, and you be like, God damn, this shit is crazy. But everything he talks is real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Cody's been around. He's been around for sure. But you say listen to Baits and Bourbons. But when's the last time you've put anything out, Steve?
Yeah, we're an Instagram Live kind of thing. That's it.
See, I need it for work. I'm at work, man. I got Apple Podcasts, downloaded all of them.
Jake, see, that's the same thing here, Hoss. They put out these Bait and Bourbons episodes, and I can't listen to them because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I listen to Apple. I've even got some folks that have their podcast is only on Spotify.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, man, like I can't.
That's like Bailey. I've been listening to Bailey since he started, but I've yet to watch one, because if I watch one, I just don't like watching them, and two, that takes away time I need when I'm at work. I need to listen to shit.
Same here. I drive. Yeah, I drive. And so I have all my podcasts that get released on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday.
Is there a way to pull the audio from Instagram?
No.
I don't. ask Ramon. I think I asked Ramon this.
If
I don't
I
know.
can pull the
I don't
audio,
think-
I'll upload them fuckers to Apple. Fuck it.
You can't now. If you can pull audio from YouTube, because when we had, who was it? Was it Big D? I think it was Big D's episode.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, thanks
ran
for
out
showing up
of
on time,
space.
Steve.
We ran out of space, and so I had to end up downloading the audio from YouTube. Thank God we record this through YouTube, because that's the only way that I saved that podcast. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So, but here's the thing. Same thing here is I drive a lot, so I listen to the audio versions, and that's just how I consume the content. KBN, I love those guys there. I know those guys. I would love to participate in their live events, which I did for a majority of it this past Monday. So today, when that podcast came up when I was driving, I deleted it because I'd already lived it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Then you listen like this one. I'm gonna go to listen this next week and be like, ah, crap. I'm not listening to myself. I hate my voice.
Yeah. But I have never listened to 1 second of Bass and Brews podcast after episode 9, and then I listened 10 and 11, and then after episode 12, when I was a guest co-host, came on as a co-host, I ain't listened to this fucking podcast since.
That's like when I edit YouTube videos. I'm like, I just try to skip the audio, even though you have to listen in case, just so when you're editing, you need to hear it. But it's like, I can't stand hearing my own voice sometimes.
Oh, I love to listen to myself talk. That ain't the problem. And every damn listener here understands that I love to hear myself talk. Look, you ain't part of the Hooks at Hoodlum, our little group chat that we got on the Instagram. But I will get on there at least once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks, and I'll put up voice recordings. And it's just because, you know what? My dogs don't want to listen to me. The cat don't want to listen to me. My wife tells me to be quiet. The kids don't understand what I'm saying. And so I know at least the bass and at least some of the Hooks at Hoodlum guys will go back and listen to them, and they do. But I spit all my gibberish out during those times. I love to listen to myself talk. I don't give a shit. But I also ain't going to relive 3 hours of talking about whatever the fuck we talked about on the podcast. I ain't doing that. I got other shit I want to listen to.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I mean, that's
I always
how
tell Bailey, I'm like,
but all this started because, first of all, Baits and Bourbons ain't been on the damn airwaves in weeks. And secondly, the only way you can consume that content is through YouTube Live. And then their YouTube posts. And
Instagram Live.
I mean, shit, Instagram. Yeah, one of them Graham Ubes.
Well, that's like Brandon Polinick started a podcast on his YouTube, but I don't know if I can download the audio because I don't really have service when I'm listening. So it's if I can't pre-download it, I can't even listen to the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna come home and, no offense, come home and watch a podcast for 2 hours. Like, I'd rather just listen to them.
Yeah, even my YouTube videos that I like to watch and the people I watch, it's got to be less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not giving a YouTube video more than 30 minutes. And I really have to like you to give you 30. I want 15 to 20.
Yeah, that's generally where I like to keep it at, right around there.
Do you do YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yep. I just recently hit 1,000 subs about a week ago.
I got a YouTube channel and he posted one fucking video on it. And I've had it for like 2 years.
And he wonders why
it's so hard to keep up with it. Like, I do ice fishing and then open water fishing, but like I've been out the past 2 weeks practicing where Slay Nation has their first tournament. One, I don't really want to post anything if I catch them because then I know all my guys watch them.
Oh, so you're cheating. So you're already cheating us, man.
No, I can't even catch a damn fish. I haven't even caught one yet in 2 weeks. I've been out 2 different days for 8 hours.
That's what they all say.
I've seen like 2 largemouth, and I almost caught a muskie on an A-rig last Friday. That's it. So that lake's gonna be tough. I bet you 2 to 3 fish wins that event. It's fishing really tough.
Yeah, see, for me, like I got 3 kids, man. I'm trying to open my own repair shop. I don't have time to fucking pre-fish.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I try to when I can. I mean, I work 4 days a week, so it works out to where I can get times, but it depends on the lake. Like that lake is ultra clear and it's cold. It's like 43 in the mornings and it's getting up to like 49 by the end of the day when I was there.
Jim, that's a big old heat jump though.
Ultra clear, man. I
Almost
got
10
perfect
degrees.
stuff for that.
Yeah, it's 10-foot visibility, 9 to 10 foot visibility. And I was just standing up and paddling because I wanted to see if any were cruising. And I saw 3 40-inch plus pike or muskie, and one almost ate my A-rig when I was sitting down in the kayak.
Oh.
But the largemouth are like, I don't know.
Yeah. You know what's funny, man, is Cody is fishing right now, and
literally probably at this point in time.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he was
likes
saying
night fishing a lot,
probably out there fishing.
And he was saying the same thing, is that the bass seem like they're just stalled right now.
Well, he's down in Maryland too, right?
Yeah, but I mean, fucking it ain't that big a difference, man.
I feel like the water temp would be huge.
Nah, from where you are to where I am is like 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm in Maryland too, and I'm like 30 minutes from him. So it's not like a huge. It's not like we're in Southern Maryland, where we're you know, it's really not that big of a difference. Maybe 10 degrees tops. You know. And
yeah, Marburg's 2 hours from me. I've been driving down there. It's a haul, but I'm just trying to get. I like to see the bodies of water. Like even if I don't get to fish, I just want to be able to see, like, have an eye and like know the whole lake, so then I can, you know, if I catch one this way, I can be like, okay, where can I recreate this pattern?
Yeah.
Or attempt to. I mean, we're having a tournament the first week in April, which we had last year for the Kayak Slay Nation. We were on Marsh Creek. I don't know if you heard of that one. It's down like southern PA. But I won it with 1 fish. And I think 2 or 3 other guys had 1 fish, and there was like 12 of us all day long. And it was just like, but PA, you can't fish during the spawn. So we lose so much good fishing.
Like, how do they define the spawn?
So our season is closed from like mid-April till usually the second Saturday of June, because that's usually when it falls on my birthday. So so from middle April to mid-June, you can't keep bass, so you can't host tournaments. But I'm gonna try to see if maybe next year they'll let us do CPR tournaments, because we're not live welling them. But in our state, if you cast at a bedded fish more than once, it's considered bed fishing, and that's illegal.
How the hell? All right. Yeah. Anyway, we ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah.
Look, I'm down here in the South. We ain't got time to talk about that shit right there. That shit, I don't know how you enforce it. All right. Scuba. Why did we go from a really, really good camera angle this whole fucking podcast to looking up at your fucking boogers in your nose? Thank you. Jeez. I mean, look, man, golly, this professional right here. We professional.
Well, this is what you get.
All right, Jake. We at the time here that we have some questions to ask you.
Oh boy.
Yep. And you've listened to the podcast, so you know the questions that are coming. You've thought about them. But I will tell you from experiences. Look, Steve, I'm trying to talk here. Quit putting your hand over the microphone, Bo. Jeez. I can't wait till Alex is back, where I'm the one fucking shit up, not having to reprimand. I could go back to being I go back to being a little child like Steve-O. Look, Steve, I can't even see his eyes. Look at your camera angle, Steve.
You'll be all right, man. Don't worry about it.
Jeez. I know you're 8 foot 13 inches, but damn,
man, it's hard for me to stay in the frame, bro. What the fuck?
I know it is. Hey, where's your This Is Us shit in the background? You got it. It's close. Look at him. There we go. This ain't an OG Scuba Steve without This Is Us in the background.
There you go.
Thank you.
You know what the best part about it is? I ain't never watched a show once.
We've already talked about this a million times. It ain't about the show. It's about the saying.
There you go.
All right. So, Jake, this is the point in time. What do you have left to give to all of our 5s of 10s of viewers that still made it this far? We had somewhere between 150 and 180 up until about an hour and 32 minutes ago. So we made it 3 minutes with that many, but all the viewers that are listening now, what are you going to leave us with?
You guys are the OGs because you last the whole podcast like myself. No matter how crazy it goes, you always wait to the end. And I appreciate that.
I love that. I love that because there's going to be a handful of folks that don't hear me. They don't get to listen to me sing This Little Light of Mine on the last episode.
That was gold. That was gold. I was dying.
All right. So we got some questions coming up. You're going to have to answer these. These are shotgun questions as Alex, Swamp Rat Fishing, the man who started this podcast, the man who a handful of y'all have no fucking clue, no idea who he is.
Who the fuck is Swamp Rat Fishing?
Who the fuck is Swamp Rat Fishing? Who the fuck is Alex on Bass and Brews? What an asshole. This guy just shows up and takes over Paul's spot.
That's how I'm gonna see it.
All right. So you answer these. There ain't no thinking. There ain't no dialogue. Don't be like my boy Chris over at Paddler's Playbook wanting to dive in the shit. OG Scuba Steve showed up kind of on time today, so we don't have to worry about him trying to interject his hour and a half worth of answers trying to get him scooted in.
Yeah, I'm gonna message Big D Damien because I'm buddies with him. I'll be like, hey, he showed up for me. I don't know what your issue is.
That was it. That was a fun night, though. It was a fun night. Anyway, all right, here we go.
Look, I came in and saved the whole podcast.
Oh my god. What? I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What'd you say?
Nothing.
Look at him. Look at him. He wants to interrupt, and the motherfucker can't even. What are you watching?
He muted himself.
Don't worry, I'm busy, all right?
Yeah. Dude, oh my god. He done got me where I'm stuttering. I ain't stuttered since 5th grade. All right, Crocs or flip-flops?
Crocs.
My man.
It used to be flops. It used to be. And then I slipped on too many boat ramps. And the hideous tan line I'd get, my girlfriend hated. So then I went to Crocs.
First of all, a tan line on your feet, ain't nobody need to have no worries about no tan line on your feet. Now, unless they be licking your toes, that's the only reason they would ever have a problem with your tan line. So I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm just saying.
All right. I don't know what
Can
you're
you
saying
pick
either.
barefoot?
Huh?
I said, can you pick barefoot? Can barefoot be like a
No, Steve.
I use the Paul method. I wear my Crocs until I get in, and then they're behind me.
But first of all, Steve-O, this is the 80th time you've been on this podcast. It's Crocs or flip-flops. There's barefoot ain't a fucking even a choice, dude. The fuck's wrong with you? You're fired. I'm firing you after this one.
I'm pretty sure Alex has already fired me.
I know, but I'm the dumbass that keeps bringing you on because I
Alex
love
is
you.
gonna come on and be like, what the fuck you doing with him on so many times?
Jeez, look, Alex might show up the next time he's on. He might show up and fire my ass. I don't know. If he does, good. Thank God. I don't have to talk to you motherfuckers no more. All right, here we go. Pineapple on pizza.
Hell no.
My man. You gonna spend more on a rod or a reel?
You know, I'm gonna have to say what's been said the last 2 podcasts. When it comes to bait casters, probably be the reel, and then spinning, I'm going rod.
And so that's people have been listening to the podcast before they come on, and you know how I know why? Because they reference that shit right there. And I will say that I accept those answers because I like the thinking behind them for sure.
Generally, with bait casters though, like it's usually even like 1 to 150 for a rod and reel. Like I usually cap
Jake,
it.
don't fuck up your answer by diving into the weeds. Like you have lost that fish. You diving into the weeds after it ain't gonna help.
Hey, you never know. You see guys catch them like that sometimes.
I don't know. Steve-O is just like he has left us.
I'm multitasking. God damn it.
He's probably looking up videos on the lake that we have a tournament on.
I'm multitasking.
All right, dude. In a 3-hour session, you want to catch 5 2-pounders or 1 7-pounder.
7 all day.
All day,
I've never
every
even
day.
seen a 7 in PA. You kidding me?
Come down here. I'll put you on 7-pounders all day long.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll drive down.
I'll put you around where they should be,
Okay.
but it's up to you to catch them.
All right. I'm totally down for that.
Wacky Rig or Texas Rig?
Wacky.
This is a tough question because I don't throw no Wacky Rig. I weight it. So it's either a flick shake, which is the old school hooked in the middle, weighted, as Uncle Frank Scalish says, that's a flick shake, or you have the Nico rig, which is a front weighted Wacky Rig. But anyway, I ain't fishing. I'm not sitting there for 2 hours waiting on that bitch to get down to 2 foot of water.
PA is a huge finesse style fishery, so I throw them both. The only reason I say wacky is because I caught 18 pounds on Cayuga with it and won a co-angler tournament, and I was like, all right, I'm going wacky. 18 pounds can't go wrong.
Slow jams or hype music?
Hype music.
What kind of hype music?
I don't even know. Like, I'll do like Linkin Park type music, Green Day.
Well, you weren't even born when Linkin Park came out.
All right. Or I'll do like
you know who Linkin Park is, but you don't know who Jean-Claude Van Damme is.
I probably do. The name just doesn't ring a bell.
No, you don't know. You don't think you know Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'll see it
and
I'll be like,
know him.
oh yeah. I'll see him and I'll be like, oh yeah. I'm better with faces. But
well, thank God we only see 1/8 of Scuba Steve's face right now on this podcast. He is just I'm about to kick his ass out. Hey, at this point in time, y'all, if you have not realized it yet, Scuba Steve came in. His name is Baldy OG Scuba Fishing.
Yeah, fucking Paul the hater.
All right, dude. Have you ever eaten beaver?
no.
It's delicious. You should give it a try. Some of the moistest, most delicious, scrumptious meat you'll ever eat. You'll ever bury your face in. All right. This is the most important question.
Yeah,
and you've listened to the podcast, so I don't think you're gonna fuck this one up. I'm pretty sure you won't. I'm pretty sure you have this is the one question that you have answers for. Being anglers, we know we like sandwiches. Matter of fact, I'm going down to Santee. I'm buying a loaf of fucking bread.
No, shut up, man. Let him answer the question first.
Thursday. All right. Top 3 sandwich proteins.
Turkey, ham, and cheesesteak, like a cheesesteak sandwich type.
Oh, Lord, you said cheese, and before you said steak, I was like, this.
Listen, I wasn't going spinach or cheese. Don't worry.
All right. Those are really good answers. I can take those. They're safe answers. I can take it. There's 3 things. One first. My buddy Cam Steele over at Faith and Fishing Podcast, who's been on Bass and Brews, me and him got in a little tiff yesterday via the text messaging app about grilled cheese. And he was like, grilled cheese, every time you get mad at people with cheese, blah, 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 grilled cheese. I'm like, no. Once you heat that bitch up, it ain't a sandwich no more. It's something else. It's a panini. And if you don't have a panini press and you're grilling that shit on a pan, you too poor for a panini press, but it ain't a sandwich. Once you heat it up, that it needs to be eaten hot, like 4, 6 hours, 8 hours on the water, and you pull out that grilled cheese, it's cold. Look, it ain't a sandwich.
That's
Secondly, true. I forgot the second part of it. But thirdly, what the hell, Steve? What'd you interrupt me when I was saying now? I can't remember.
I'm just laughing at you because you fucking forgot.
I think you forgot one of your questions. I thought you were asking me a different question before the 3 meats. Unless that's coming next.
No, that's it. Question? The 3 meats. That's it. That's the last question.
Yeah, that's the last question.
What about eating largemouth bass?
Oh shit! You know what? I ain't asked that like 3 times. Look. Y'all think? Don't Bass and Brews. Don't fuck up while Alex is gone. Somehow in here, that bitch got deleted. The one question. Do you eat largemouth bass? Let me put that bitch back in here before Alice gets back next week.
Jeez. I was like, yeah, because I was expecting that question. I was like, wait a minute.
Quick.
Who is that, Scuba?
Scuba. Look.
I'm multitasking.
Nah, this bitch is muted. Hell no. He's over here playing Zelda. All right, do you eat largemouth bass?
No, I don't.
I'm about to kick your ass out.
Listen. I get the concept, and if I would eat them,
I can't see shit, guys. Can you see me?
I ate them. I ate them growing up, and then PA, the lakes aren't great, and I've eaten 5-pounders, and I highly regret it because in PA, that's like a 20-year-old fish. So in PA, 5-pounders are really old. So I know to eat like the 12-inch or stuff like that. And I did growing up, but ever since I got into tournament stuff, like, I don't know, I wasn't big into it. I'll eat trout, but bass, like, I'll encourage people, go ahead, but don't eat the breeders. When you eat the breeders, that drives me nuts. So yes, I used to, but no, I don't anymore. That's my answer.
All right. Scuba interrupted me from a story. And now I can't remember what the hell the story was. Do you remember?
Me? I don't remember the story.
It's about grilled cheeses.
That was like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was what he was talking about.
All right. Jake from STEM Fishing. Not State Farm. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. I'm not wearing khakis.
He wears khakis and a collared shirt. And ain't nobody out there fishing in no khakis and a collared shirt.
No.
Where can we find you? Where can our listeners come give you man hugs?
All right. Jake_STEM_fishing is Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And then my Facebook is just Jake STEM.
You be making TikToks?
Yep. That's what you saw. So I post TikToks and then it automatically posts on Instagram. So what you saw on my Instagram was actually a TikTok.
Tic-tac.
But hey, you never know. I had a video I made with my girlfriend of me like carrying all this tackle and doing some funny song, and it hit like 56,000 views. And I was like, well.
It had nothing to do with you or your tackle or the song.
Yeah, just her.
Yeah, just her. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. It's I like it. It's fun. It's where the kids are at, but I like to post, make fun of myself. Some of them are like, a lot of people try to take the trends that are going on now and then put a fishing twist on it, which is what I do. But some of them, it's like, I make that video, I'm like, dang, I'm cringing at it. Like, I don't even know if I want to post it.
Well, what you're telling me is all I need to do, and all of our listeners need to do, is take their wife or their girlfriend and make her carry in a bunch of shit that we bought and then post it, and then we're going to get views.
Pretty much.
Like she doesn't have to talk. I don't have to talk. No. We don't have to do anything.
No,
we just need our significant other carrying our shit
All I
and
did
put a
was
Tic Tac out and be like, "Hey, we're gonna win the internet tonight."
the video was a song, and it was just me carrying in all my tackle, and then her. It was pretty much the concept was her catching me coming home from Bass Pro Shops, and I had a giant 10-gallon bin of tackle, and it went viral overnight.
Oh shit! So I didn't see this. Did she beat you up or scream
No,
or holler at you?
She just rolled her eyes at me and shook her head, and that was it.
So
I'll send it to you later.
So what we're implying though is what the viewers that the millions that watch this are like. This sumbitch, after this video cut off, he got his ass beat by his girlfriend.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. I feel like a lot of guys were relating. All the comments were like, "Yeah, been there, done that, been caught before." But yeah, it was crazy. That algorithm is just weird with TikTok. You could put your heart and soul into a video.
Nope. Stop you right there. Nope. Stop you right there. The word algorithm on Bass and Brews does not exist because 99% of the motherfuckers that come on this podcast, not only can they not spell algorithm, they have no idea what the fuck an algorithm is. And so when I hear YouTubers talk about the fucking algorithms or the Instagrammers, I'm like, this motherfucker has no idea what an algorithm is. None.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong because I'm educated highly, and I still don't know what the fucking algorithm is for no YouTube stuff. And look, people in the industry won't talk about algorithms because they don't even know.
It's true.
Anyway, we getting off subject here. Look, this bitch ended 10 minutes ago, but here we are, still talking. All right. OG Scuba Steve literally just fucking has gone. He has disappeared. His shit's gone. I'm kicking his ass out because
I'm making him launch 15 minutes late on our first tournament.
Kick from
he's getting penalized.
Yeah, kick guest. He has been kicked because his video's gone, his audio's gone. Nobody wants to see that tall, lanky bastard over there eating popcorn anymore. And we've only spent an hour and 15 minutes eating popcorn, drinking Dr. Pepper and Pepsi Cola. Where can we find you on the social medias?
So Jake_STEM_fishing, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And then Facebook, just Jake STEM.
This is the second time we covered it, so I hope y'all listened to it because we covered it 35 minutes ago, apparently. All right, dude. Anybody you want to shout out, sponsors, anybody like that, anybody you want to thank?
Rabbit Baits. Huge shout out to Rabbit Baits. They've supported me the whole time and been huge supporters and offered me to go down the Classic and work with them. So that was a huge opportunity. So mainly Rabbit Baits, Slay Nation, Frankie Provolone, the head cheese. That dude's the man. Check out your local states if you have Slay Nation events. If you're in PA, sign up, come fish Kayak. We're in the eastern part of the state, all up the north and southern part of the eastern PA. Come fish with us.
All right. Well, thank you, man. Let me tell you, y'all, thank you if you've lasted this long. We really appreciate it as always. Alex will be back to keep us back to a short form podcast at an hour. If you want more than that, you must subscribe, follow Swamp Rat Fishing, and tell him long form podcast.
Yep.
You have to tell him. He doesn't know. So everybody listening to this who has made it this far, go to Swamp Rat Fishing and be like, we won't get long form. Now, if y'all don't want long form, if this shit ain't for you and you want the 1 hour to 45-minute podcast, you tell us that too. We're here for our fans. And if we got to make stuff for one fan and another fan, we probably ain't going to do that. But anyway, we'll make it for the fans that care and that matter. All right. Thank y'all so much. This was great. Jake, we're going to hit this end button here shortly. You hang on for the back end where we get to talk some juice. Look, y'all, thank you. Hooks at Hoodlums. Check them out. Also, I have done a terrible job of promoting the Bass and Brews apparel wear. but we had the Bass and Brews apparel wear. Go look at my Instagram page. There's a link tree. You can find it on the link tree. Get you some Bass and Brews stuff. We thank you. We love you. Give us a review on iTunes, on the YouTubes, and on Spotify. Hey-o. Give us hey-o there, Jake.
Hey-o.